I make decisions. I'm planning on making decisions, but I don't know what tomorrow brings.
Sure.
So I have to actually, even as I'm planning, I have to live as if today is my last day.
Right. Which is what James.
Yeah,
referenced
that's
it.
what he means.
But as long as we have today. 2, 1. What are we doing? Sorry. Forgot my first line.
Right?
Hey, welcome back to Real Talk. Thanks for hanging out with us. He's Joe. I'm Brad. Merry Christmas.
Malika Liki Maki. What are the different ways we could say it?
Well, you can't say that one.
That's
Try
not it?
again.
Malika Liki, no? It's the Hawaiian way?
It's something.
No?
You're
Feliz
close.
Navidad. I got a pillow for Christmas. Well, not for Christmas. Pre-Christmas that says Feliz Navidad. It makes me so happy when I see it.
It does?
On our couch. Feliz, yeah. Lots of different ways to say Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Merry Christmas, Brad. And everyone.
A pillow that says Feliz Navidad.
You don't have that?
You're a man of many cultures.
I never thought of it that way. It's not as diverse as you were thinking, huh? Okay. Thanks for putting a spotlight on that.
All right, so here's what we're talking about today. It's almost the end of the year.
Yes.
And so you gotta kind of close up a year. And when we start a year, we always have good intentions and we set out with a new, what's it called?
Vigor.
Yeah, but what's the word? What am I thinking of?
Resolution.
Resolution. Yeah, we have a resolution, and we're after that, and year in and year out, you resolve to curse less. And come 2023, darn it, that's going to be the year. But I digress. So we're at the end of the year, finishing up a year, but kind of in light of how we start a year, we want to finish the year well, right? So I was thinking about how, just in general, do we finish things well? So, obviously, in my world, that's relevant to me right now, right? I'm finishing up my chapter at Faith Church, but there's ways that we're finishing things all the time.
Yeah.
We're finishing projects at work. We're finishing a school year. We're finishing up a job and transitioning to something new. We're finishing up the work week each week. We finish
Finishing
up
some
years.
friendships.
We finish up relationships. Oh, yeah, we do finish
Yeah.
relationships. We, of course, finish life. And there's principles around all of this that it's like we want to finish well. And we have some examples in the Bible. We have some teaching in the Bible. But I thought we'd just talk about what have we seen when people
Let's
finish
well.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Right? So obviously in the Bible, you think about the Apostle Paul. He was committed to finishing well, right? He writes to Timothy, I've fought the good fight, I've finished the race, and I've kept the faith. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And that's big. That's about life and his ministry. But I think there's ways that we can talk about finishing well all the time.
I think it's a great topic.
Great.
We could finish these Oreos well.
Ooh.
Let's determine to finish all of these Oreos.
We would not be well.
Oh my gosh, that would be gross. Yeah, that's a great topic because you're right. It's much more inclusive of so many factors of life than just death or major chapters.
Totally.
Right? It's inclusive of lots of things. So great topic. I'm excited for what you're going to ask and think, and I just know that you think really well about this stuff. So
Great. Okay, so I was thinking about finishing well, and I made some principles about what it would mean to finish well, and you just respond, okay?
Oh, okay.
Like, we'll just start there.
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay.
That sounds like a great idea.
So to me, like, how do you finish well? I just wrote a couple things down. Be on good terms with people,
Oh,
right? So,
as opposed to
as opposed to lighting everything on fire, right?
Oh,
So it's like, even that's biblical. As much as it is possible with you, be at peace with all people, right? So it's like, let's be on good terms with people.
So if you aren't on good terms with people, what do you do?
Maybe you're not done until you are on good terms,
that's
right? So I was even,
great.
as you finish the year, it's like, okay, before 2022 closes out, like, maybe there's a relationship to reconcile, to resolve some differences, right?
Even Paul saying, do not let the sun go down in your anger, right? So there's a sense even in a given day that you shouldn't let a day end and finish a day being angry with someone. Right? Because that produces something in us that's like, if you take the anger from today into tomorrow, it does something to you. So imagine taking the anger from this year into next year. Sure. It's like, if we're going to finish well, like, no, we live at peace, not be angry, short accounts with each other. That's great. I love that.
I thought with integrity.
Meaning
Meaning there's sort of like Oh, let's use. I said one of the things we finish all the time is a work week, right? So there's a way that you can finish your work week with integrity, and that means I know I put in a hard week of work. I gave it everything I got this week, and I can go into the weekend. I cannot feel bad about shortcutting things, whatever, right? It's like I gave everything I had to this. I didn't cut any corners. To me, that would be a good way to finish well.
Oh, I like that. Not cutting. So how would we not cut corners as we finish the year? Is there ways that we could Yeah, that's interesting.
We can come back to that.
Okay, let's
like,
come
you
back.
can talk about that more. I think if you're going to finish something, I don't know, maybe this is my personal thing, but it's like finish better than you left it, like or better than you found it.
Yeah, leave it
better than you found
and
it.
if you did that in relationships and
Exactly.
like, that's
all
really
the time. If that's just how you, I mean, if you took every day like that, every day of your life and said, I want to leave today better than I found today, in your work, in your family, in your home. I mean, in the ways that you, like, think about the practical ways, cleaning up my house, like, whatever. Like, I'm going to leave this room better than I found it when I came into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just,
or even like selling a house, right? Like, I mean, like you,
Oh, sure.
you occupy an office or occupy a house or occupy a car and you're going to sell a car at the end of this year. Are you like just not caring about? It's like, no, I'm leaving it better than I found it. I'm sending it and giving it to the next person till that last transition to the junkyard.
Right.
Yeah. Leave your body better than you found it.
And
I digress.
The last one I was thinking is just having a sense of I'm being faithful to God. Right. So if I'm going to end a relationship, for example, maybe, I mean, you jokingly said it, but there's times where we end a friendship, right? I'm being faithful to God in this is what God wants me to do. I can't be friends with this person anymore. I have to leave this job. I have to leave this situation. Even this year, I'm being, a person says, I'm being faithful to God through the end of the year and what he asked me to do this year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Those are sort of my
Those are some really good principles.
What say you?
Should I add or should we
Go for it.
clarify?
Whatever you want to do.
I don't know. I mean, I think some of it fits into some of this. Right? I was just thinking about finishing well is like running all the way through the line.
Oh, yeah.
So that fits into that, or just of integrity, or just saying, if I'm going to do this, I have to put 110% in. Like, why do people, when they finish, start to back off towards the end instead of sort of a running term? It's like you run hard through the tape. You don't like stumble into the tape. But what would it look like for you to run hard all the way and not give up or give in before you finish?
That's
It's
good.
like you're not done until you're done. So
Yeah, and if you're leaving a job or something, for example, somebody's maybe transitioning a job at the end of the year or whatever, it's like if your employer still has you on their staff roster and on their payroll, they're still paying you. So run through that final day. That's good.
No, and I mean, I think, too, it's interesting. James exhorts us that when we look at a given day or situation, to say, if the Lord wills, this will happen. So I think what goes on, and especially finishing massive jobs or transitions, like you're in this transition of moving from one major chapter to another, and it's like, if the Lord wills, you're going to relocate.
Right.
So what does that mean? It means I plan, I make decisions, I'm making decisions, but I don't know what tomorrow brings.
Sure.
So I have to actually, even as I'm planning, I have to live as if today is my last day.
Right. Which is what James
that's what he means.
But as long as we have today.
So it's like
all we have is today.
There is an aspect of all of this that goes to, at the end of the day, I have today. So I might have a plan of finishing something tomorrow.
Yeah.
And might have a plan of whatever, but it's like I have to today give it 110%. Today have integrity. Today try to live at peace with all people.
Yeah.
Like,
that's good.
So it's not like, okay, well, I have tomorrow to clean up the mistakes and I'll fix things and I'll get things. It's like, no, I have today.
Oh, that's really good.
I have to do it all today. And then, I think that's why he says also, don't let the sun go down in your anger today, because there is this big biblical idea that you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Yeah.
So how do you live with that on your mind now? Like, what happens if this is the last time, this holiday season, there's all kinds of drama in your family. There's all kinds of tension. What happens if this Christmas is the last Christmas you have with a loved one?
Sure.
If you actually lived with that in your mind,
right,
not knowing that there was ever going to be another Christmas,
right,
well, how would that change finishing well? Like, I'm going to lean into this Christmas and be with my family and do everything, I might not have another one.
Yeah. That's good. And that today concept, we take that and apply it to each of those things I was talking about. Do you have integrity today?
Yeah.
Are you at peace with people today? Are you being faithful to God today? Not you have to run your whole race for the rest of your life right now, but it's like, are you being faithful today? That's really good. That's helpful.
I mean, one thing, I just did a funeral of a woman I really respect.
Yeah.
98 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a snapshot of someone. This 98-year-old woman finished well. And in interacting with her family, I mean, 98 years. She was born in 1924. The change that she has seen and the ups and downs of her life, incredible.
That's cool.
And yet, when you hear the stories of her life the thing that stuck out to me the most is a family member telling a story about at 82 years old, how she had a massive change in perspective. Like when people are going, I'm too old to change.
Yeah.
She had a lifetime commitment to grow and change.
Yeah.
And so she's like, even in the midst of 82 years old, has this interaction with a family member that requires a massive shift. And from 82 to 80 to 98, her family and friends seeing a major change.
That's pretty cool.
Like, I'm not sure what finishing
about
well
finishing
looks like.
well.
It's like you finish well by staying humble all the way to
Yeah,
the end.
yeah. I
Right?
love
Part of that is faithful to God.
Yep.
But it's like in that faithfulness to God that I know that I'm going to grow and change all the way up till I'm whatever that finish line is. In a relationship, I want to grow and change in a work environment, in a relocation, in whatever. In a year, I want to grow and change all the way up till 2022 is done and move on to 2023.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about change and finishing something and change. And, God is a God of, he doesn't change, but he's always bringing about newness and new things, right? And so something about change that's scary. And so a lot of people, as they're finishing something, they're moving on to something else. And there's something about that that's scary. And yet God is a God of, again, he doesn't change, but he changes. He brings about new things. He changes conditions of things. And when he does that, I mean, if you look over the course of the Bible, when he starts something new, it's always better than the before. So, right?
Something new. It's always
something better.
better.
Yeah. So you could march through the Bible and kind of see that play out. I don't know. When he brings about the prophets, that's a new way of speaking to his people. He had Moses, that was great. Moses dies, he ends up bringing about the prophets. That's actually a better way because now you have more people who are actually communicating the literal word of God to an entire nation. Okay, that goes away. God stops speaking. Oh no, what are we going to do? Now he brings about Jesus, a better covenant, right? It's when he starts something new, it's better. And so, I don't know, there's something hopeful in that, I think. Finishing something well means something new is starting and it's better.
Yeah, I mean, and even if that also acknowledges, and probably another biblical principle and just a reality of the universe, is that sometimes the new comes because something else has to die.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, you see this with seeds and plants and just, it's like, okay, there are seasons and chapters that actually have to end for something new to begin. And
when I say better, by the way, maybe not better in our immediate understanding.
Yeah.
But in God's economy,
in a big picture, yes, there's something different, better, right? So even someone dying physically, if their hope is in Jesus,
right,
it's better.
It's better,
but you actually have to turn a page. Like a new year starts because the old year is gone, and the new begins. And there's something great about that, but there's something that has to be like past. So I think that is happening in a lot of new beginnings, that something is dying, and that doesn't mean that we don't have to grieve that. We got to kind of go, okay, this is sad, a new chapter, a new start, but there's something better, bigger, greater coming. It's kind of cool to think about.
Yeah.
I wonder what it also looks like when we start into something new, to have the end in mind from the beginning. Right? So it is finishing well, sort of going back to revisiting what your hopes were, because you were actually deliberate enough to think about what your hopes were, and have something to kind of objectively go back to and go, did I actually think about the end from the beginning and put that into practice and work through that? I mean, I don't know. This is dumb. But
maybe stop there for a second though, because that's worth saying that again. that when we start something, it's worth taking the time to consider the end and actually set out some goals and some markers and things. Because I think a lot of times, you get to the end of the year, you're just running for December 31st. Okay, well, another January 1st is coming. So even if you kind of fail finishing well, let's start right.
Yep.
It's sort of both sides of this. Keep going, sorry.
No, I mean, I think that level of deliberateness helps you to finish well.
Oh, that's
to
good.
be able to think in advance. This is so silly, but my wife and I were talking about it this weekend. Just as we get to the end of the year, and we have sons that live in different places, and we have family coming in, and it's kind of like, what is success? I know this is so lame, but what would be in our minds a successful holiday season? Having a conversation about that in advance and right-sizing our expectations, even over the last days of this year. It's like there's always the chance to stop right now in wherever you are and go, well, how can I finish well?
That's good. That's really helpful.
So stop right now and go, finishing well for me in whatever season or chapter I'm in means, and have reasonable expectations about that. Because as my wife and I were talking about it, it's like if we could sort of map that out together, then we can encourage each other, pray for each other, love each other, serve each other as we march towards the end of 2020. Because for us, that means our sons are coming in. It's crazy, lots of family. If we get to the end of it and we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't do this or this didn't happen, we'd be so disappointed. But if we can plot it out early and go, we really want to make sure we tried this, or this is our goal, or people set themselves up for failure with this image of how the holidays are going to go.
Sure.
You failed before you even started.
Right.
Because it wasn't even realistic. Mm-hmm. But even as you start a new chapter of life, maybe you're starting on a new relationship. Why wouldn't you stop and go, what would be the goal of this relationship? Mm-hmm. I know that sounds so too deliberate, but you're starting a new chapter in your life. Mm-hmm. You're making a new switch. It's if you don't have a set of goals in that new chapter, you're setting yourself up before you even start for failure.
Right. Yep.
Parents, you're having a child, or your kids are, our kids moving from 12 years old into the teen years.
Yep.
What is your goal for your kids as they're teenagers? Setting that into motion before you start helps you finish well, I think, and right-size expectations along the way.
That's really good.
It's not really good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it is. Because you think that way, and you push other people to think that way, to go, no, I'm actually going to be intentional, deliberate about setting my expectations so I can't, so that I can do something like finish well.
I mean, when you make dinner, don't you sort of hope that there's a end of that dinner and you plan out if you're having it's amazing how there's these little things we do this all the time, but then we don't apply it to other aspects of our lives.
Which are in some ways more important aspects of our lives.
It's okay, let's think about this. Let's think about the end from the beginning.
I just thought of something. The other day, I had some chili and it had chunks of steak in it and I ate it. What do you think about that?
That is, you know what? I mean, if you're planning out, you want your chili to be wow.
I ate steak.
Steak chili?
Yeah, I ate steak.
Oh, wait.
Hello? Oh. Who are you talking to right now? I ate steak.
Did you not even know?
I didn't know.
That doesn't count. It does not count.
I liked it.
Yeah. Is this the first? Wow.
This is just right here on confession.
Right here on Real Talk, you had steak. I was thinking
nothing to do with anything. I just thought about it when you were talking about planning my meals.
That was
I thought the Real Talk people and you needed to know that. I ate steak.
Well, you know what? I have as a gift for you. I bought you a lifetime supply of Omaha steaks. They're being delivered to your new location. So that you can just remember how much you like. Man, I totally missed that.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty exciting, isn't it? I ate steak. Thank you.
Did you like it?
I wanted to tell you that. It was great. And now I want to have an actual steak.
No, you don't.
I actually do.
You do have to graduate to steak on a plate, not.
Yeah. I want to try it. Anyways.
Talk about finishing well. When you came to Pennsylvania, you were converted.
Just took all these years
to beef consumption. Wow.
I was thinking about I had one more thought. Just on change. Change is hard. Finishing something, starting new, it's hard, right? Maybe it's ending a relationship, ending of a job, ending of school. It's exciting but hard. Yeah. I just read this and it lit my hair on fire. Psalm 71:14 says, "As for me, I will always have hope."
That's
good.
as for me. As for me.
As for me, I will always have hope.
Not as for me in my house.
No, that's Joshua.
As for me.
As for me, I will always have hope.
In
So
the new
you're
beginning.
finishing well and starting something new, and there's pain, and there's excitement, and there's grief, and there's joy. As for me, I will always have hope.
I like that. Which Psalm? Psalm
71.
I like that. Psalm 71.
How about
As for
that?
me, I'll always have hope.
Yeah,
And as for me, I don't think we could finish this season of Real Talk without just kind of going back to some of the beginnings of how things happen. It's like, talk about finishing well. I think finishing well in this year of Real Talk would be to blindfold you and do a taste test of holiday foods. So we have the opportunity now.
I knew producer Mikkel was doing something.
Just hold on. We're gonna blindfold you.
Church blindfold.
Branded blindfold.
Okay, let's go.
You're gonna be blindfolded and get to taste. I mean, like, is there anything more holiday than maybe putting in your mouth some things?
Great.
Wait, that logo. Look towards the camera. It looks really good on you.
I feel like do I look like the Karate Kid? By
That's a
chance?
little more for the camera.
Why? What are you doing to me now?
Wow.
Joe worked really hard on that.
Gosh.
Wow.
I can't cheat. Trust me.
This is Season's Eatings, friends.
Season's Eatings?
You can't see anything, can you?
I mean,
I
can
mean,
see
to
light,
me,
but
the
I'm
quintessential
trying to see
goodness of Real Talk is for you to experience the blind taste test. I mean, everybody, just take a look at this. I mean, don't you want to take a bite out of whatever? You might think this is something, but it might be something else. I don't know. It might look like a sandwich, but it might not. Like, I'm not
Is there
sure.
a stollen?
There may be, but I just want to make sure you get to experience this. So I just want to. Can I just open up your big mouth?
No, you're not feeding me. What is it?
You have to guess.
Just
Just open your mouth.
Oh,
Can you guess what that is? It's a Pennsylvania specialty.
it's some kind of fruitcake. Is it fruitcake?
It is.
Boy, that is dry.
Is it good?
It's like,
You look like the Karate Kid, right?
thank you. It's a little spongy.
It's not good. Whatever it is. I tried to get the things that you would hate. Now, I just want you to hold your hands out. Hold your hands out like you're gonna eat. No, like not like you're a poor child begging.
Please more, sir.
Hold like a. I just want you to hold the.
What is that?
And I just want you to take a bite. Just a big. Just like a big bite.
I gotta get the fruitcake now.
Please, just take a big bite of that. I'm not really just.
This feels like some kind of hoagie.
It is.
It's a breakfast hoagie, a holiday hoagie?
It is. It's a holiday hoagie. I have no idea.
Oh.
That's walnut bread. That is.
I know why you spit it out.
Do you need a garbage can? Bring in the garbage can.
What is Oh my gosh.
Was that
like-
delightful?
Oh my gosh.
I thought you
Is that
would.
what I fed you?
Yeah, I have no idea, but I did.
Mikkel, is that what we fed him?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I always wondered why you spit it out because no human being could swallow that.
Did you? But you know what? You get a point for you took a mammoth bite of this. So I saved the best for last.
Oh, I'm sure you did.
No, I wanted to give you a holiday treat to remember Pennsylvania. So this is actually something delightful for you.
That stuff's on my hands.
Yes, this is something. No, just okay. It's delightful.
What is that?
It's a little burrito.
It does.
That is delicious. I gave you do you know what that is?
It's got a cannoli sort of outside and a jelly inside.
It's a kiffle.
It is?
It's delicious. I mean,
That's pretty good.
yeah, I know. It's not bad.
It's not bad. Thanks,
That's
Joe.
pretty good. That's a kiffle from the Kiffle Kitchen. Shout out for the Kiffle Kitchen.
Go to kifflekitchen.com. Get your own today.
Unbelievable.
Can I take it off?
Yeah, now you can look at what you ate.
Thank you. That is bad. I did get after it.
Tell me that doesn't look like
You told me to.
Tell me that doesn't look like a hoagie.
It felt like a hoagie in my hands.
Everyone, this is the way you finish well. You get a plate of random
Thank you.
crap and you feed it to your friends blindfolded. How we finish well.
That was terrible. Thank you, my friend.
No, you're welcome. I know that you have this to begin with.
Yeah, and it was medium. That was awful.
I mean, can you imagine?
I don't know how you swallow it. It is like having, if you want to, get some construction paper and put it in your mouth.
tempted to take a bite too, but
Do it.
No, I'm not. I won't do it.
Well, have a great Christmas. Thanks for hanging out with us.
I'll see you next time.